In this video, we're graphing a few vector functions focusing on circles and how changing the vector function can affect their orientation. First, let's consider the vector function r of x is equal to cos t sine t. So the parametric equations for this vector function would be that x is equal to cosine t and y is equal to sine t. If we were to remove the parameter, we would see that this is going to be representing a circle, and let's see that for just a moment. To remove the parameter in these parametric equations, we don't try to solve for t. We actually employ the Pythagorean identity that involves sine t and cos t. We know that from trigonometry, we have the identity, the Pythagorean identity, that sine squared t plus cos squared t is going to be equal to 1. And if we were to substitute in the x value for cos t and the y value for sine t, what we end up with is y squared plus x squared is equal to 1, which we usually see written as x squared plus y squared is equal to 1, and we recognize this as being a unit circle, centered at the origin, radius 1. So we're expecting our vector function to be a circle centered at the origin, radius 1. We're also going to be interested in finding the orientation, and in order to determine the orientation, we're going to need to plot some points and see which direction around the circle we're going to be traveling. Let's plot some familiar points. We'll let our value of the parameter be 0, pi over 2, pi, 3 pi over 2, and 2 pi. The cosine of 0 is 1, the sine of 0 is 0, and that's going to make our vector at time is equal to 0 be equal to 1, 0. The cosine of pi over 2 is 0, the sine of pi over 2 is 1, and so our output vector is going to be the vector 0, 1. At pi, we have a cosine negative 1 and a sine of 0, so we get negative 1, 0. Notice we have pointy brackets here. These outputs are vectors. 3 pi over 2, we have 0, negative 1, and at pi over 2, we again have 1, 0. So now let's graph this vector function. R0 is the vector 1, 0, which means it starts at the origin and terminates at the ordered pair that is 1, 0. R evaluated at pi over 2 is the position vector starting at the origin and terminating at the ordered pair 0, 1. R evaluated at pi is the position vector starting at the origin and terminating at the ordered pair negative 1, 0. R evaluated at 3 pi over 2 is going to be initiating at the origin and terminating at the ordered pair 0, negative 1. And then we have, again, R evaluated at 2 pi with giving us the same vector that we started with. Of course, if we took more ordered pairs, we would see that we get more vectors that are pointing to these ordered pairs on the outside of this circle that is centered at the origin with a radius of 1. And because this was our first ordered pair, and as we increased our parameter value, we traced out the circle in this direction, we would give these orientation arrows. We can think about this as being the position when time is equal to 0, the position when time is equal to pi over 2, and as we increase the value of the parameter, the circle was traced out in this direction. So the blue arrows are going to indicate the orientation or the direction that that curve was traced out. So now let's look to see how things are affected if we change the x parametric equation to being sine t and the y parametric equation to being cosine t. So if x is equal to sine t and y is equal to cosine t, we're still going to end up with the x squared plus y squared equals 1 rectangular form of this curve when we remove the parameter, meaning that we're still going to end up with a circle centered at the origin with a radius 1. So how does switching the direction of these parametric equations change the graph? Well, let's see. So let's plot points. So we'll have 0, pi over 2, pi, 3 pi over 2, and 2 pi again. And this time, when we calculate the sine of 0, that's 0. The cosine of 0 is 1, and we're going to get a different vector output at that value of the parameter, or at that time. If we plug in time is equal to pi over 2, the sine of pi over 2 is 1, the cosine of pi over 2 is 0, and again, a different vector comes out when we plug into pi over 2. When we plug in pi, the sine of pi is 0, the cosine is -1, so we get 0, -1. Notice again pointy brackets indicating that the outputs are vectors. When we plug in 3 pi over 2, we're going to get sine t is -1, cos t is 0, and the output vector is -1, 0. And again at 2 pi, we're back to 0, 1, the same vector that we initially started with. So when we plot these vectors, the time is equal to 0 vector, or our r evaluated at 0 vector, is 0, 1. So we're starting up in this position this time. And when we evaluate that vector function at pi over 2, we get the vector 1, 0. Now we can already see that we're going to be tracing out this circle in this direction. Changing the order of the parametric equations is basically going to change the orientation of our curve. It does not change the path, it changes the way that the path is traced out, or it changes the orientation. So when we evaluate our vector function at pi, we end up with 0, -1, which is a vector that terminates at the ordered pair, 0, -1. And when we evaluate the vector function at 3 pi over 2, we get a position vector that terminates at the ordered pair, -1, 0. Again, we have this circle that's being this time traced out in this direction. And we see that the orientation is going this way, so we'll indicate the orientation with blue arrows. The only thing that changed about this vector function was the orientation. So if we have the parametric equations, x is equal to cosine t, y is equal to sine t, the curve that traces out in two-dimensional space is going to be a circle. If we have x is equal to sine t, and y is equal to cosine t, again, that's going to end up being a circle in two-dimensional space. It's just going to have a different orientation.